Hello, everyone. I'm Tony Bates, and I want to welcome you to the next episode. La da 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 da. That's for you hip hop out there. The next episode of QuickCast Destination Dallas Eclipse Convergence 2024. We are so grateful that you've chosen to join us today. On this episode, we'll be focused on exploring some of the possible spiritual implications and actions surrounding the American Eclipse 2024. So here's the thing. On April 8th, 2024, North America will experience a once in a several lifetimes event, a full solar eclipse, moving across its three major countries, Mexico, the United States, and Canada. I believe we said that on the last episode. North America won't see another event like this one for at least 375 years. And that's a mighty long time, as Prince would say. People around the country are excited and waiting in full anticipation for the full culmination of this event, which in our region, Dallas, Texas, means almost 4 whole minutes of complete darkness after a 2+ hour buildup to the total eclipse. Folks across North America are giddy at this rare and very special opportunity to both see and experience this unparalleled, celestial, and incredibly powerful energetic moment. We at the Eclipse Convergence 2024 Collective are very lucky to be right dab smack in the middle of the center of one of the best regions for the viewing of this American eclipse, and that is Dallas, Texas. As it happens, Dallas is the largest city from which the eclipse will be most visible for the longest duration, 2 hours and 39 minutes, including the totality, meaning complete solar eclipse, semi-day of darkness, for a full 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Eclipse Convergence 2024 Collective, led by Lisa Loving Dalton and Hazel Archer Ginsburg, has planned a weekend's worth of spiritual play supported by spiritual work. All attendees are invited to bring their positive spirits, their talents, and a willingness to play. Everyone's contribution will be welcomed and valued. We'll all create and act out a play together. There will be live music provided by the beautifully voiced Ultraviolet. There will be an open mic night for any who want to share a talent or a poem. The whole thing is going to be spiritually focused, playful romp, and lightworkers everywhere are invited. Eclipse Convergence 2024, Piercing the Veil to Resurrect the Grail, takes place at the St. Raphael Retreat Center in South Dallas from Saturday, April 6th through Tuesday, April 9th. You can reserve your space right now at EclipseConvergence.com. Best of all, the entire 3-night event, which includes 8 meals, communal boarding, women and men will sleep in separate quarters, on a 13-acre retreat with fenced-in parking, folks. It will run you a paltry $497 per person. Special arrangements can be made for any who want to come in a day early on that Friday and join the festivities, or just go sightseeing in the area. However, please remember, many hotels and motels even in our area are asking much, much more for a single occupancy room in the Dallas region during the dates close to the eclipse. So the recently renovated 13-acre St. Raphael Retreat Center is located at 901 Madison Street in Dallas, Texas. Sleeping arrangements, once again, include quarters for men and women, 3 to 4 persons per room. For more details and immediate registration, please visit EclipseConvergence.com and sign up there. Spaces are limited and going very quickly. Do not miss out on this opportunity to be right here in the heart of it. Again, that's EclipseConvergence.com to reserve your space. Joining me again on our QuickCast is host and co-creator of the event, Lisa Loving Dalton. Lisa, welcome back once again to Destination Dallas, Eclipse Convergence 2024. We're happy to have you.
Thank you so much, Tony Bates. I really appreciate you inviting me back. And
Let's let's talk a little bit about your itinerary for the weekend and go a little deeper into some of the events that you all have planned beginning on April 6th.
yes, absolutely. We have our open registration from 3 to 5, and then we hope to gather for a little introduction before we dine in a beautiful dining room. And then we will take a little break, and after that, we will gather for our first evening program. And there we plan to have a talk about the Grail from Richard Cloud, who's a fascinating speaker and a spiritual scientist. And then in the morning, we'll have our breakfast back at the dining room. And everyone who comes can give us a list of their dietary needs. So if you're vegan or vegetarian, dairy free, pork free, seafood free, whatever your needs are, you'll be able to note that on your registration. You can also note if you have a colleague of the same gender that you'd like to share a room with. um, we can help make that happen. And as you mentioned, you can arrive a day early or stay an extra day. And so we're so grateful that St. Raphael is able to accommodate that early or late arrival or departure. And for Saturday, we will gather after breakfast and we will reflect on our nighttime experience, whatever that might have been. And then we will begin with our music and our movement based in sound and expression of the logos or the word called eurythmy. And we will begin to learn music and eurythmy and what we call art acts, um, uh, that will become part of the mystery drama, the new mystery drama which Hazel Archer Ginsburg has written. Then we will begin our rehearsals, and we have, but you're welcome to be part of it, to be part of the chorus, to be just a witness of all of that is going on. And we will have a non-speaking movement, kind of dance and movement group that will express images from the script. And you won't have to memorize. Everyone will have copies of the script. And we'll practice that. We'll have a lovely lunch and then a little more
If I
practice.
may just interrupt for one moment and interject here, let's go back. What is the purpose of this activity, this putting together this kind of mystery drama, as you call it?
Yes, well, mystery dramas actually date back to the era of the cave person, and they are very, very
Are
ancient.
you calling me names?
I'm calling us both names. It's yeah, the first performances were sacred acts where they acted out the hunt to tell the tribe the story. They didn't hadn't really developed language yet, so they were mime. And actually there's like about 40,000 years of archaeological evidence of drawings in caves. And for many years, they thought those were cave drawings. They've come now to understand that they're backdrops for performance. And when the light hits a certain way and it travels through certain cracks in these caves, it looks like, for example, the cattle are actually moving, or the waves of water that are painted look like they're moving.
Fascinating.
Yeah, and then there's deeper caves that were specifically for the training, the spiritual sacred training of the performers. And the nature of the eclipse, it's something that has occurred throughout the Earth evolution, has always conjured high levels of emotion and mystery. And there's always, what does it mean? What does the eclipse mean? And when darkness descends out in the middle of the day, it has brought many fears forward throughout all cultures, all around the world, through all ages. So there are many suspicions about it, and there are many myths about it. And of course, at the crucifixion, there was an eclipse also, the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. And so some of the most seminal moments in history have timed with earthquakes and eclipses and things like that. For example, the Egyptians had mystery dramas, and then the Greeks had mystery dramas. And in those eras, one could imagine that humanity had still a more psychic, you could say, connection, clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient connection to
What?
the
No cell phones?
no cell phones, but we didn't need them because we had, if anyone ever saw Clan of the Cave Bear or read that book many years ago, there's a Isla is born and she doesn't have the clairvoyant or clairaudient or clairsentient ability to communicate psychically, which is what we could all do. And as that began to fade, it did so because we could not have free will. If the thoughts that were coming into our mind were indistinguishable from those of angels, higher spiritual beings, ascended masters, ancestors, and various God and godlike forces. So, if we as a human being want to develop a sense of free will, we needed to lose our connection, our direct ability to see the spiritual worlds and to hear the spiritual worlds and to know for a fact that they are mystical fact. And now we've moved far enough away. In fact, the pendulum has swung so far, many of us have forgotten that there is and are and always have been powerful spiritual forces. So there is a movement of light workers to reconnect with spiritual forces and out of our own free will. So this event is an invitation to all light workers who would like, out of our own free will, to raise the energy of light on the planet specifically during this process. The potential of the rays of the sun that tend to normalize, soften, and disperse dark forces on the earth that are radiating out to the cosmic forces. The ability of the sun to do that during this time gets less and less and less until it's finally cut off. And if one could imagine, it's possible for many dark forces to really be unleashed without the forces of light to counteract that. So our hope is that we will create a force field and be able to ameliorate, be able to intercept, be able to dissolve, transform dark forces, adversarial forces, into healing forces, into forces of truth, love, and light. Love, really, above all. And there are many studies, for example, in the field of transcendental meditation, many studies where when groups of meditators come together in sacred intent to bring harmony and peace to an area, that the amount of crime drops. And it's highly notable. It's very measurable. Perhaps the most famous one was when they came to DC, Washington, DC.
Mm-hmm.
And it's known for murders daily. And when this group of meditators came for a month, I don't know, Tony, maybe you know the statistics, but I think instead of daily murders, I think there was perhaps only one for the whole month they were there.
I don't
And
remember specifically, but I know very well of the experiment.
of course, there's a great deal of scientific measurement, medical measurement of the brain waves and things like that during the meditative process. And when we look at the idea of whether wherever two or more are gathered, this is going to be us. We are co-creating a force field on a sacred space on 13 acres that are already dedicated. And we have some guests, some participants who are coming who are dowsers. And they have notified me that they have identified angels on the property. So
Already.
yes, already they've already notified. They're going to come and share. We will give them some time to share with us or with anyone who's interested in hearing from them what they're perceiving. And I think it was 15 was what they said. 15 angels are currently on the property. So
And that's before we get there.
yes. And of course, we all have our own angel we'll be bringing with us.
Claro que sí.
And we can imagine that our archangels are are above our angels, helping us find, gather, and helping awaken those 44 light workers who are coming to be with us. So I hope that you're one of them.
So let's skip ahead a little bit from there. I interrupted you at lunch, but let's go back to the itinerary. Let's skip ahead to the day of. What
Yes.
does the itinerary look like on the 9th or on the 8th?
We'll have our breakfast, and then we're going to just review the music and the movements, and we're going to get clear on our intention. We're going to have, uh, of course, everything is weather permitting in terms of being outside, but we are scheduled to have lunch in the outdoor pavilion so that we'll be able to spend the day outside. And it, by the way, it is beautiful here in Texas. The wildflowers are blooming, and you go along the freeways and you see them. And I have a big batch in my own yard. And I haven't seen yet, but they told me when I was looking at St. Raphael that they do have some wildflowers in the fields that normally come up. So hopefully they will be there. And and so we will prepare that. And then when the eclipse starts, we will begin this process. We'll have a cleansing. We'll enter this beautiful outdoor meditation area that they have, and we will create this event. Everyone gets eclipse glasses that comes with your packet when you arrive, and we will have someone who will just wherever we are interrupt us to be able to pause all the activity we're doing and just stop and meditate and look and gaze, and then we'll go back into the process. And then when we so it'll just start and stop and start and stop as we go through the script with the music and the meditation and the pageant and the movement, and with our stopping and pausing. And when those 2.5 hours or so are done, and by the way, when it's a full totality, you don't have to wear your glasses. So that is just very interesting. And I remember being at the 2017 eclipse in St. Louis, and the birds all sort of went to sleep, stopped chirping, and the crickets started. So
Wow.
it's very interesting. There's a whole bunch of birds on a beautiful outdoor trellis that they have, and so I think that's going to be very interesting. When we're done, some people may be exhausted, might want to go back for a nap, but we will have an open space opportunity where if you want to share something, if you want to present, for example, if you're doing some kind of work you'd like people to know about, you can invite people. We'll assign you a location where you can go to that location. Anybody who's interested in talking to you about your thing or experiencing a little sample of what you do, they'll be able to go meet you there. And so we'll
You mean
organize.
on the retreat space itself?
Yes, we'll have we have our meeting room, and then we have the various locations. Like I've done this outdoors, and so Tony, you want to sing a song and see if anybody wants to create a song on the spot with you, and you say, I'm going to meet at that tree, and you grab a chair and you go over to that tree, and anybody who wants to come and join you comes and joins you.
I'm going to certainly need a chair. I don't have a guitar strap.
Yes, so we can work with that, and so I'm looking forward to that.
We'll see what
And
happens.
but I do just want to back up. The night before it is when we have our open mic night. So
Aha.
Ultraviolet, our musical leader, is going to be the host for that open mic night, and Sacred Sharing. Any anything that you would like to do, movement, poetry, song, uh, spoken word, uh, you know, tell a joke, whatever you'd like. And so then after we get a little bit of rest, we will have dinner, and then we will gather for uh, a, a kind of a deeper personal reflection to share what are our experiences, what can we think about, put all this in context, either to your personal life, to the larger global society, to your future, setting intentions, contemplating, what have I eclipsed in my own life, for example, really thinking about how you personally would like to bring forward, bring the light to, as we come out of this eclipse, can we bring more light into this world? And and then on Tuesday we will have our breakfast, and we will gather one more time for a final ceremonial wrap up. And there, I we will bring in the zodiac and the planets in movement. We'll create a special movement ceremony, rhythmy ceremony, which will be quite beautiful, and I think will give us the strength in our etheric forces to be able to carry those intentions that we set forward.
Okay, well, let me just jump in here again quickly and remind folks what we're talking about. But this is Destination Dallas, Eclipse Convergence 2024. We are a quick cast, and we are referring to an event, Eclipse Convergence, Piercing the Veil to Resurrect the Grail. It takes place on April 6th. That's a Saturday through Tuesday, April 9th. The entry fee is $497 per person for the entire event, which includes 8 meals and 3 nights of housing at the recently renovated 13-acre St. Raphael Retreat Center in Dallas, Texas. Sleeping arrangements include quarters for men and women, 3 to 4 persons per room. The website to visit to get your own tickets is EclipseConvergence.com. There is going to be very powerful people and very powerful energy in this space. And we want to invite people who work with the light, people who are spiritually centered and focused, to join us there. Again, the price is $497. In the area, hotel rooms are literally going for $4,000 per night in some cases, $500 per night in many cases. So to get 3 nights for a $500 basic entry level fee is a fantastic, fantastic bargain. And we want to put that forward to you all. Again, visit EclipseConvergence.com to find out more. We're running out of time here, but before we do that, Lisa, I would just like to, some people may become, dealing with the powerful energy, need a break or to leave. What's in the area that people might go visit or see?
There's so much. Dallas is a major metropolitan area, and there's an aquarium. There's the Perot Museum. There are many performances in the area. Lots of breweries and fun cultural places in Fort Worth. We have the beautiful Water Gardens, Sundance Square, the cultural district there with various museums there, and Bass Hall, and many smaller theaters that are fantastic.
And
And
that cattle drive.
the cattle drive, Cowtown, every day, 11 o'clock and 4:30, you can come and watch the cattle go up and down the street with the cowboys. It's real fun, y'all.
Gets
And
crowded.
one of the things I suggest is that you find a buddy and drive here and come a little early and do some visiting, and yeah, because we've got free parking. There are places that are charging $100 a day for parking.
Wow.
Yes,
We've
and
got free gated parking.
yeah, we have free gated parking, and so yeah, get yourself to Dallas and join us.
Yes, we're looking forward to it. Well, I want to thank you all for joining us again on another episode of Eclipse Convergence 2024. This is Destination Dallas, and we will see you in the very next episode, which should be here pretty quickly. I want you all to be blessed. Please think about joining us. Again, EclipseConvergence.com. That's the place you want to go to reserve your space. There are only a few spaces. They are leaving very quickly. We hope to see you there to bring your spirit and your light to mix with our own.
I
Thank you
got
for
one.
listening.
I got one more idea, Tony. If you can't get into Dallas, consider flying and see if you can rent a car from Oklahoma City. It's only 3 hours, and you could rent a car from Oklahoma City and drive down and drive back. And so that's an idea. We have two airports, Love Field, Dallas Love Field, and DFW Airport. They may be really tough to get into at this point.
Yeah, they were expecting hundreds of thousands of visitors here in Dallas because this is the spot, y'all. We
Yeah.
hope to see you there. EclipseConvergence.com. See you next time. Be blessed.